Now, WNWY. Reports across the globe from What's News with You. With comedians Josh Johnson and Ashley Gavin. And you, our reporters in the field. What's News with You?
The competitive cubing, I cannot believe we're talking about this.
Yeah, how many listeners did we lose?
We lost a lot.
I think most, if anything.
Yeah.
I think we're going to give ourselves
The first
12 more seconds,
episode
and then we're
with
going to...
the cubes is the worst performing episode that we've had.
Really?
Yeah. So we
Oh.
might have to cut the cubes.
Yeah, we might have
That's
to cut
okay.
the cubes.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Whatever we gotta
That's
do.
very okay.
But thank you for being here, Alex.
Thank you guys for having
You're
me,
a great
man.
comic. Tell people
appreciate
like
that.
what you're doing so that they know where to find you and stuff like that.
At Alex Drags on Instagram. I'm mostly in New York in July, but I'm back on the road August, September. So go to my profile for some of those dates, please.
And this is annoying. I'm sure you hate this, but you were a March Madness competitor.
It's true. Yeah, I played in March Madness when I was at Notre Dame. Yeah, I played basketball in college.
Pretty incredible.
I do think, man, if you're my height and you didn't, you really fucked up. If you're
Really?
if you're 6'6" and you didn't play Division I basketball, you didn't get a scholarship in some capacity, you fucked up.
Really?
I think we're already in this like very small percentage of society. You got to make it happen, dude.
Okay.
You know?
Okay.
Because
Wow.
there's a
But
ton
you
of,
didn't
we know other tall guys.
To
you know?
be
Yeah.
fair, like how tall were you when you were young? Because you got to start playing.
I was playing
Semi-young.
very little. Yeah, I was playing. When I
There's
was really
that
young.
woman in China. I'm not remembering her name. She's 7'6", 7'5".
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
She's massive.
I mean, she's got one path.
You know?
One path.
Yeah. Have you seen her?
No, but this is like,
I'm
7'6".
pretty sure she's never played basketball, and
Ooh.
they just got her.
Yeah,
And
we gotta.
She's doing okay. Can you look her up?
Yeah.
Because she said there was a quote that she said that was like, "It's not all height, you know." And I'm looking forward to learning more. Was basically the
that's-
quote.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean...
quote or just her?
Well, what was?
Because this is her. I believe it's Zhang Zhu. Am I
Yeah.
pronouncing this right?
Spell
Zhang
Zhang
Ziyu.
Oh.
Ziyu.
Yeah,
but
Zhang
se-
Ziyu.
this
I
is
mean,
her.
7'6".
7.
I mean, yeah, she's not going to be like a tax consultant. You
No,
know?
no,
Like, she's
but
not,
you're
she's
saying-
not doing people's taxes.
You're
dude.
saying one path.
17-year-old?
There's like 9 paths.
Mm.
Because all she needs to do is get into a sport. It doesn't have to be
swimming.
It doesn't have to be
volleyball, yeah,
basketball.
totally.
I think volleyball, she would
Yeah.
dominate, she would murder. Probably
Definitely.
literally.
Yeah,
Because
someone would one death a year.
That would be the first time in volleyball history that somebody tapped the ball up to themselves to spike.
yeah.
Like she was like, "No, I got it. Bow,
Right,
and then
right.
it comes down." Okay, so geez,
And the ref
okay.
is like afraid to even say anything. The ref's not
Yeah.
calling a penalty. They're
Yeah.
like, you're doing great.
Well, I'm hoping to see her on the Liberty. I'll tell you what. I'm looking
Dude,
forward.
7'6". That's
7'6".
Can't teach it
because
you.
you honestly are so close now. That is the one thing I'll say about going to a professional basketball game.
Yeah.
That, look, I'm not an athlete. I'm a cuber. Okay.
IQ, man.
I'm neither.
But I will say it is wild that the best in the world miss that much. That is crazy.
That's what Lucas's girlfriend thinks too.
Really?
I am not on the same page. They're pretty far away.
They're making incredible shots that no other person could make, but they are also missing a lot for the amount. Like, here's my thing. If you
Yeah, but try to cube, and I'm gonna do what basketball players do to you. while you
okay,
cube,
all right. 1 second. So you're just gonna spike it because my thing is this is where I'm. Oh God, this is where
Fucking
I'm
loose.
coming from.
Oh, wow,
right?
stuffed.
Why would you?
Excellence.
It is out of bounds on you. It is Josh's ball.
Now he
but-
missed it. Yep.
White
yep.
excellence.
No. This guy.
It's Josh's ball. I mean, it's out on
Now,
Serbian?
100%. Yeah.
Yeah.
this is what's happening.
White
though.
excellence.
Oh God. You're the first person to. Yeah.
I'm
You're
just
going down in
I'm just
the
going
Hall of
along.
Fame.
Just yes anding over here.
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah. Oof.
Sorry, I smacked the cube out of your hand.
No, it's gonna live forever. So the thing that I think is important to remember though is that someone has trained for the cube to be getting smacked out of their hand the entire time they try to cube. And that's where like there's a certain level of proficiency where you level off, where everybody's like pretty good. This happens a lot in boxing and like any fighting sport where it's like, oh, everybody's cutting weight. Everybody has like a wrestling background, everybody, whatever.
Right.
But then you get to a like level of you've shot 10,000 shots last week in practice or whatever. I'm making up the numbers.
Yeah.
And you're like 6'9".
The hoop is like
and you're
the size
close.
of the ball, though, Josh.
What?
The hoop is not much bigger than the ball.
The hoop, you can fit 2 basketballs in a rim in the hoop. That's
Really?
like 2 of them. Yeah, that is a fact. I hate to burst your
pretty
bubble.
small though.
It's not the biggest thing.
But this is my thing. It's like there's a lot of missing to say you could just try to dunk every time.
Right.
Dunking is like a pretty easy win.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like dunking is I am next to it, I'm as tall as it, and it requires a little bit of a hop.
Yeah.
And I shouldn't. I've watched people miss
thank
dunks.
God biology has limited the amount of Zhangziyus there are in the world to keep the game interesting.
So it's kind of like, okay, basketball, volleyball, boxing, she'd kill a person.
It'd be tough, yes.
MMA, she would also kill a person because
she would never have to punch. She could only kick.
She
one
you'd only
kick to the
want
head.
her to kick. She would, like a punch would be coming from a week ago and hit you with the force of a tombstone. Like it's just like I think that if anything, the only thing that would probably be very hard for her is like wrestling. Just because it is harder to wrestle shorter people.
Short people can grapple. And,
yeah. And they would probably just like grab one leg and she wouldn't be able to get them off.
Right.
Were you good at other sports though?
I pretty much, I played some sports a little bit, but I was very adamant at like 7 years old. By 7, I was already playing basketball for like 2 or 3 years. Like I was like so adamant
Were
about
you
playing.
already taller than all the other kids?
I was pretty tall. I was the, like 5'8" in like 6th grade.
Oh my God.
And then like high school, I started high school at 5'11", and then from freshman year I went from 5'11" to 6'5", and then
were you like a good kid?
Yeah, I was a pretty good. Yeah, I was
because I can't imagine trying to discipline this man.
Oh my God!
You know what I mean? Like you grown, and then he stand up, and then you got to be like, look, you have an assignment. And then you got to say it up.
No, yeah.
Like taller than your parents?
No, my mom's 5'2". My dad's 6'3" though, so it's kind of.
How did this happen?
I know.
You add both. You add.
Yeah, both of them together.
No, my mom would always like when we were like walking around. My mom would always go. I like when people would say that, like like, oh, that's your son. My mom would always go, I know, who's the milkman? And it's like, Mom, you can't just say you cheated on my dad. Like you don't just. My mom's joke was like, who's the milkman? I'm like,
also,
don't just
if you're
say
an
you
8-foot milkman, you fucked up.
It's like it's funnier if the dad says who's the milkman or someone else. The woman can't, if my mom can't say that.
Yeah, I cheated. I cheated a lot.
You're not like 55 either.
Right.
So when was there a milkman at all? Like
the 90s.
This is the 90s. What? There's a milkman?
In the suburbs of Chicago?
Yeah.
No.
That's the craziest.
I know who's the milkman, and no one laughed ever.
Yeah.
No one laughed ever. And it was just
People
like,
were just like,
I was like,
oh.
Yeah. People were like, okay, all right. Yeah.
Was your dad ever right there?
No. It was just like we were walking, at the
Worse.
mall or whatever.
I think it's funnier in front of the dad.
It would have been
on the joke.
Yeah, it's not. I just remember thinking like that's the least. Even at like 10 years old, being like, wait a minute, that's not funny.
Should we do our news, or do you have a riff? You look like you have riff in your eyes.
No. Let's do the news.
Okay. Well, I have some news.
What's up?
A bird shat on my head yesterday.
This is crazy.
Oof.
This is so crazy. Because when I was in Europe, I thought it happened to me like 3 times. Every time I walked under a bridge, I'd feel like something. You know how people, I'm glad I don't believe in like spirits like that, because it was like enough of a tap where it's either like a person tapping you on the head, a bird pooping on you, or like a spirit being like, you're next. Like it's just, it was just a very like, I was like, oh, and then I would dip my head immediately. This happened 3 different times in Europe. Dip my head immediately and turn to Sally. I was in Nice and I was in Paris. And each time I would slam my head like down, turn to Sally and be like, is it in me? Is there anything happening? So the fact that it actually happened to you while I was paranoid of it happening to me is crazy.
The spirit thing makes sense, dude. If you told me ghosts only lived in Europe, I'd be like, totally. That makes total
Well,
sense.
there's a lot
to me.
more there.
Yeah, if you're like they're only in
deeper-
London,
Yeah.
like there's only in. I'd be like, well, yeah.
Honestly,
Right?
it does feel like Europe would be like the ghosts, and then like Africa would be like the spirits. Like Africa would be like fully Lion King. Like if you want to go talk to an ancestor, you can go, you can see them in the sky and everything. And they'll give you a little piece of wisdom, like don't marry him, whatever. And then you'll come back and like have a better life.
Yes.
Ghost, the thing you just said about Europe is I will not be able to stop thinking about that when I'm in Europe.
They're
next.
only,
like,
they're just chilling in Europe. That's where they are.
it's ghostly architecture too.
Yeah.
It's the architecture of people who were pushed off balconies.
They're dressed in, they're dressed in like the 1700s
Well,
shit.
I do
you know?
think it might have something to do with the way you were killed.
Oh.
You know?
So you
because
think
back in Europe, you could die of a plague. So the only ghosts we really have are people who died of COVID, and they're not ghost ready yet.
They're not ghost ready.
Yeah.
You gotta be ready to haunt. You can't haunt if you're wearing New Balances.
Do you think if you
You need to come back in a form that
Get
looks
haunted New Balances.
ghostly. Do you
It's
understand what I'm saying? You
I
need like a
understand
nightgown
exactly
and
what
a
you're saying.
candelabra. Yeah.
And even though I agree, it low-key feels a little ageist on ghosts to be like, you're not a ghost. You're not a ghost. You have a hoodie on.
A ghost from 1984? Like, no.
No. A ghost in a members only jacket? No.
Yeah, I
yeah,
mean, I'd love to meet some lesbian ghosts.
Oh.
I'd love to have like a little chat with some lesbian ghosts, being like, "What's it like? I never got to do it."
Yeah.
I would love to talk about
Wow.
eating pussy
Yeah.
with some lesbian ghosts.
Wow.
Yeah, they were just like, yeah, I kissed a girl and I was murdered. So what's? They're like, so what's it like, Ashley?
I'm like, worth it though. Worth it though.
Yeah.
And so then how did the bird poop on your head?
Right.
Oh yeah, sorry. Yeah.
So
ghost tangent. My
I
bad.
am out. I sit by the pier in the morning. I bring my coffee and I journal or I meditate. So I'm in a good place. I'm getting clarity.
Yeah.
I'm on my last page of my journal. It lands on the structure above the bench where they usually put like almost like an umbrella, like a covering,
Mm-hmm.
but it's not there today. And the bird just lands on the bar, the structure, shits on my head, directly into my hair. But the space between my hat and my shirt, totally avoided. Hundo hair. I had to walk back home and take a shower.
Do you think, okay,
Right.
I have a couple questions off this.
I think it was out for me specifically, yeah.
One question.
Homophobic.
Yeah.
bird.
It's pride.
One question is, you know how you meditate and you journal and you have all of these ways that are how a person would find or maintain peace,
Mhm.
right? And I'm interested in this as like a comic, right? Because your general, like whenever we're not like on mic or on stage and we're just like chilling and chatting and everything, it's very like I don't know, I feel like relaxed and like thoughtful and everything. And then the character that you create for like podcasting and on
Thank you
stage
for
is
saying
like
that, Josh.
yeah.
Did you guys hear that? Are you guys paying attention to your little leader here?
Wow.
Your little prophet genius?
This is like undercutting everything I'm trying to say.
Go on.
Yeah.
But do you think though that
I appreciate
in
you saying
your like comedy that you have this exterior as also a way to like channel some of those like thoughts and feelings so they don't show up in your everyday life? Because the same way people will meditate to be like, this is what's bothering me, this is like really messed up in the world and I'm trying to like channel that into something else. Your something else seems to be the character that you do on stage that does feel that way about those things, even though you don't necessarily take it to that level.
I think
Oh, wow.
meditation and journaling for me, exercise is really just about mental clarity.
Yeah.
And staying on the content side. I don't like look for happiness as much as I look for like clarity and contentment.
Yeah.
Whereas on stage, it's about expression.
Yeah.
And those are, different things to me.
I'm just saying, like, the places that you go on stage, I think people have become so used to comedy, and I've even done this to a certain degree. They've become so used to a comedian's perspective and their personal perspective having to be one. So then
people make that assumption about me all the time, just based on the comedy. They're like, they say crazy things about me. If I rub them the wrong way.
Sure.
But yeah. What's news with you? Wait, do you have news?
Let's do your news first, though.
News. I just moved. I finally live alone in New York. That's my
Whoa.
news. Finally live alone. First time.
I'm gonna die.
What?
Can we turn on the AC? Is it gonna kill everything?
Yeah.
We'll
fine.
probably be fine.
I can't even imagine how Josh is
Listener,
feeling.
if the audio is bad, blame Ashley.
Okay. That's huge, Alex.
Yeah, I'm really excited. I got a great deal. It was a situation where, you show up to this apartment and the realtor was like, okay, like it's been up for a day. 7 offers have been made. This lady's a little particular. She said no to all these people. There's 3 other of us. I'm looking around the place and, it's this kind of a little bit older lady, maybe in her 60s, and she's the landlord.
Mm-hmm.
And
You fucked her?
I did blow her. I didn't fuck her yet. But she
Hey, women have dicks. No problem here.
And I think that's great, by the way. I think the women with dicks are the better ones.
You love them? You love them?
Love what?
Women with dicks?
I love everybody.
Good.
Yeah.
Didn't high five me. I'll let it go.
Well, I didn't. This is my thing. I feel like when we touch on the podcast, you gonna say white excellence to trip me up. So I'm like, I'm very wary of your hands. So
from now on,
mic.
I'll do white excellence only before touching.
I've been thinking about the white excellence high five the whole time.
We're gonna clip it.
And I'm okay.
I was like,
and I'm just like, oh man, that wasn't good, was it?
What? I mean, like, come on. In basketball, you got to give it up for some white excellence.
I'm like, make it 3. Should I get 4? I should get 4, right?
This is an audio included. These are jokes.
Yeah.
It's not just in the video.
Yeah. And so you
How
get
often did
this.
you say white excellence, by the way?
Oh, it's almost every episode. Yeah. That's why I was saying you're the first one to like. That's why I was trying to stop you initially.
Oh, I just was like kind of,
Isn't this a great way for me to secretly find racists?
Yeah, I guess so.
You guys have this is it. It's over for me. You guys, that's how you out people.
Yeah, even if we outed you, you're pretty tall, and I think that makes up for somehow everything.
Yeah, how does that always? Yeah.
Everything in human history.
Yeah,
it's like
it's a forgivable height, maybe.
Yeah. Like you could be a bad president, but if you're tall enough, people will be like, he knows what he's doing up there. And so then the apartment. How did you get it?
It was kind of a classic New York thing, I think, where she had this kind of like broken English kind of accent, and I was like, oh, like, are you like Russian? And she was like, oh no, like I'm Balkan, this other country you wouldn't know. And I was like, oh, I'm 100% Serbian. And she like lights up. And I say, Negovaram Srpski, which means like, I don't speak Serbian.
Supposed to not white excellence this.
This, if you hadn't done it before, it would be now.
This would be it.
Yeah.
But keep going.
She's Serbian, and she was like on the spot, like, do you want it? Do you want the place? Like it was like, I've been there for like a few weeks now, and she's like made me dinner 3 times. Like it's like a whole
cabbage.
Nah, she really tried.
There's actually one meal that the cabbage and meat is actually a Serbian
not
thing.
cabbage and meat.
It's a Serbian thing, but yeah, it's like
With the Serbs.
Yeah, it's kind of it's not great, but she's made it.
No. She tried to get at that.
What?
Yeah, no, she tried to climb you, dog.
Yeah.
She
Think she wants to fuck.
She has a chance. If the apartment if she doesn't raise my rent, she's got a real shot.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's been like, it was a real like, she's like, yeah, this guy it was a total like Serbian. She said I look like her son. Like it's a whole thing.
Wow.
So that's why I feel like I got lucky again with just, she owns the building and I think there's only 3 other tenants.
Good for her.
Yeah. I'm pumped about it, man. I'm pumped.
That's great.
I mean, she did essentially, she just took me based on, my ethnicity, which isn't right, but it's, I got lucky,
You got your own apartment. Jim, like I don't know.
1 bedroom.
A studio.
Nice,
Yeah.
nice.
So, but it's still, it's
That's all you need.
I'm pumped about it. It's super high ceilings, great natural light. I'm like, it's big, dude. I'm really pumped. Yeah.
Nice.
And also anything to not there could be like shit, like sewage coming out of the walls, and I'd be like, well, that's not another person.
Yes,
that's not a guy in my
There's shit
apartment.
and sewage coming out of other people as well.
Yeah.
A wall is easier to control.
I mean, I once again, not to like run a bit on you or anything, but
Sure.
this was a genuine thing because I have said on stage, I don't know if I've ever put it out or not, but it's a genuine thought I had when I moved out of the house for the first time.
Yeah.
Where I thought that like living in an adult world, especially a metropolitan area, could be lonely.
Yeah.
And then I realized I couldn't afford to be lonely.
Yeah, that's great.
Crazy.
Yeah.
That's
yeah,
crazy that you're already broke. And so you got to find as many other brokes as you can to live together, to be broke together.
Yeah.
And it's all romantic when you're in your early 20s and you're like either right out of school or just straight into the workforce or something. And you've been in the workforce for a few years. But when you turn 30 and you're like, I need to be poor enough to be alone. It is like, it's such like a mind-boggling thing because you're like, I don't have money. You would think that would come with nothing. But instead, it comes with everyone. Everyone who doesn't have money is around me. And so then that's also how I think we distinguish luxury. Luxury is other people not being there.
Yep.
I will say, man, it's like there's so many things in life where when you make a little extra money or more money that like don't satisfy you in life, or even like maybe in comedy, even like getting better at stand whatever, like your career that don't quite satisfy you. This is a tangible thing where I'm like, I am so much happier.
This is
I so thought you were going the other direction.
No, this is one thing where I'm like living alone. I'm like, this is like one of the things where I'm like tangibly, this is a noticeable level of happiness.
There's that threshold of wealth is like once you hit, money makes you happier until you hit sort of all your base needs being taken care of and yada yada.
Nobody moves in alone and is like, oh man, like I miss Luke. You know? No, it's like you're
or gets
fine.
their health care covered. But like it's just sort of like we live in a society now where so many people are below that threshold. And they work so fucking hard.
Yes.
It's just unreal.
I mean, there's also there's money and then there's like happiness.
Sure.
And so I felt like I couldn't complain as soon as I went full time, even though I wasn't making money. Like once I was like a full time comic, but I was still low key broke. But then you try to complain about anything, even if you got stiffed, even if you literally didn't make the money, you went and you did the show, and then they were like, "We'll send you a check," and it's been 2 months. That's a very reasonable complaint. People should be paid for their work,
right?
And you trying to complain about that to a friend who does construction is like insane. And they may love construction, but they do real work every day.
They have to set an alarm.
They have to set an alarm.
The greatest gift of my life is not having to set an alarm.
And so it's like you as someone who's like at least happy with what you do, complaining is like, the only people you can really talk to are other people who are like full time. And do you know what I mean? And so there's a lot of isolation in even as you gain that upward mobility because you're one of the few that have it. And then there's also, even within those circles, there are people that are not going to roll with you because you're new to the party.
Yep.
Oh,
and so now they're like, this is an almost poor. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Imagine you make $1 million. You're a millionaire. Barely.
Yeah.
You're a millionaire till you get taxed.
Yeah.
And now all of a sudden it's like if you were taxed and you didn't handle your money well, now it's like you're doing all right, and you're especially doing all right for like 96% of America. But if you're really trying to hang out with people who you can complain about money with, they're gonna look at you and be like, "What do you? The money you hope to make? What are you talking about?" You know, it's like you ever see that video of Soulja Boy?
Who fucked you over recently? who cut you out? Who are you hanging out with? They were like, okay.
No. If anything, I like watched it happen to a couple people, and so now I'm like almost pissed off on their behalf.
Yeah. We need to keep moving because I think we're almost at an hour, right?
Oh, okay.
That's crazy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
We got to do the other part of the pod. Well,
yeah, absolutely.
Do you want to skip your news?
No, we can skip my news.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, 100%.
Now we're going to go to our reporters in the field.
Okay, cool.
These are folks who have donated to our Patreon, patreon.com/WNWY.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you for not being a slouch.
Whoa.
Thank you for not being a little bitch and robbing us.
Whoa. So thank you so much for donating not only your time
Thank
to
you
give
for white excellence.
Oh my
your
gosh.
race.
Oh geez. Can you bleep some of that? Can you just bleep a little bit of it? So thank you so much for taking your time out.
Thank you for
to
getting
be
off
reporters
your
in the field.
lazy ass.
We appreciate
going
you.
to patreon.com/WNWY and giving us
It
$1.
It means a lot that you listen, that you watch, and that you
No.
do what?
It
What?
means a lot that you donate.
Oh
And if
jeez.
you're
Okay. If you could
and/or
just I need you to
and you're
bleep.
not donating,
You know what to bleep, Alex.
that's highway robbery.
There's a Let's go to the
Thank
reporters in the field.
Our first report comes not just from a field reporter, but an executive producer. This is coming from our...
I'll give you head.
Whoa.
You heard me.
Whoa.
There we
Whoa,
go.
Sex work is real work, Josh.
NEP.
I didn't say that it wasn't.
You had
but
a
there
look on
is
your
a
face.
no. There's a. I think there might be a statute. I think
Sex
that
work is real work.
these
and
are
if
jokes.
you donate,
These are it should be right
Get
where
outta
my
here.
hand
Bam.
is. Where
Bam.
these are jokes.
Bam.
Because I think that there might be like a
Bam.
There's a problem.
banner gone. Make it explode.
No,
Holy shit.
I will fuck you.
she's joking.
No.
These are jokes. That's hilarious. Oh, you crazy.
Well, this is coming from our executive producer, Mary.
Thank you, Mary.
I have news that I've been sitting on since Memorial Day weekend. It's not exactly my news. It was news relayed to me by a friend, but I was like, yo, this is one of the wildest things I've ever heard. All I can do is give you the information that I was given, and I have no more. And I woke up one morning to a text from my friend, and he said, I probably need to quit talking to my cousin. And I was like, well...
Pause right there. Great intro. I probably need to stop talking to my cousin. You don't want to be aiding and abetting on a crime.
Okay.
Or your cousin wants to fuck you.
Yeah.
Right?
I really hope it's the latter.
I think it could be either, but I will say I appreciate very much, Mary, that some people call in with like a real official sounding report.
Yeah.
And then some people take us on a journey.
Yeah.
You know, and this is one of those. This is one. I think you stopped it at the perfect time. I think right now this would be in a Tarantino movie. This would be the pause for the narration.
Yes.
Okay.
And then you hit play, and then we're back in it.
Yep.
I'm always on board with interpersonal family drama, and I thought this was going to be something like that. So I was like, no, why? And so there's an emu that lives as a pet in their neighborhood.
Didn't see that coming.
Curveball.
You know
That
what?
was not
tell
on
you?
mine, too.
Look, can I tell you? I'm not trying to act like I know everything.
Fuck you!
But let
you!
me tell you right now.
Emu was not on your list.
No. When it comes to white people, there's always the possibility of an animal
Sure.
being involved, and a more exotic animal than a dog.
You're right. White excellence. Emu is white excellence.
I didn't say that at all. I said that it was a possibility.
The white excellence is I'm having trouble with it. This is something I do want to say. I want to get that out there. It's something that
I've been heavy on it this episode. I'm not going to lie.
It really does
The
usually.
Caucasus brought it out of me.
yeah, the Caucasus Mountains. Yeah.
Usually only happens once.
Okay, right.
And so this has been a triple down.
We've
Yeah.
talked about capitalism.
Mm-hmm.
We're talking about emus,
Mm-hmm.
European
Serbians,
ghosts.
European ghosts.
Admittedly, there was
it's a
that
white heavy episode.
there was one where genuinely I thought you were gonna do it, and then you turned to me and you were like, that was the one where I was like, man, that would have been the, because you probably could have still got him too.
Yeah.
You probably could have still got, and so I got the apartment, white excellence, fist bump, whatever. And this now I feel like it's gonna come up at least 2 more times before we're done.
Probably.
Yeah.
I have to lean in.
Yeah.
Emu that lives as a pet in their neighborhood, which is in like rural Maryland. Somebody has an emu as a pet, and that emu escaped, and it was like the talk of the town, like community Facebook.
Can you pause?
And
Ain't nobody escape. Don't do that. This not supposed to be your pet. That's low key crazy. It's
This
low
is
key
emu
crazy.
liberation.
It's like, ooh, I can't believe this animal that's not supposed to be here at all left.
Yeah.
That's wild.
I think that's the clip right there.
That's wild.
It is totally insane to keep an alligator in your home and be like, my alligator got out. Your alligator returned
Yeah, he
to
escaped.
its rightful location.
Now look, this isn't all Mary just reporting, okay?
Yeah.
But that is I think the rhetoric that Mary was given whenever this conversation was being escaped.
It is.
We don't even know where they live.
That emu served justice.
Do we even know if this is like a ranch? This emu could be at a house.
Right.
Talking about escaped.
She did say neighborhood. Yeah, rural Maryland.
But
I don't know if that means anything, though.
exactly.
Are there emus in the DC suburbs?
Yeah.
I would say no.
It
I
is.
wouldn't call that rural
Especially rural. It is also on the white stuff. It is very white for a white person to be like, this animal I have illegally. Has left.
It's just, can I tell you, I know we're long, but one of the funniest like
No, we're definitely going to be cutting from the earlier section.
Okay.
This is gold.
One of the funniest, fully like whitest response I've ever seen in my life. I was in college and my friend and I went to like, remember FYE and those type of stores that were like
for your
the
entertainment,
DVD and like CD stores.
Right.
We went there because there was this one in our college town that had all sorts of stuff, had like anime, had some comic books. It was just blown out version of like a regular FYE.
Yeah.
And this dude walks out with it was a CD, could have been a DVD. I think it was DVD. Walks out with a DVD. The thing goes off. The theft detector goes off, and he just walked out because we were talking. He really wasn't over here trying to steal it. He was just like, I bought something. He was talking to me, and then he walked out with me. So it goes off. He walks back in, and he goes, "You forgot to scan this."
Oh,
and
my
I was
God.
like, "Oh, that's how it works."
Yes.
Like
Yeah.
that was the top thing in my head where I was like, I had grown up around racism. I'd grown up around like little bits of segregation here and there.
Sure.
But when I saw that was when I was like, oh.
Yeah, that's a different life.
Yeah.
To walk back in the store. And then go up to the cashier and be like, your mistake.
Yeah.
It is wild.
No, that's,
it was like the talk of the town, like community Facebook, and they were trying to figure out how to capture it, you know what I mean, and give it back to its person. And my friend's cousin got into his pickup truck with his friend, hunted down this emu, killed it, and like told my friend that I wanted to know what it tasted like. And my friend said he had to sit through like a Memorial Day barbecue where people were asking him about it, and he like knew that it was like dead in his cousin's freezer. And I was like, no fucking way. I was like, that's super crazy. And I actually before.
This is also kind of white, but it's more in the serial killer type of vibe.
I was gonna say whitest hour of my life.
Yeah.
This is like very Silence of the Lambs to say that it's like you knew it was someone's pet.
Can we pause for a second? Put some apology kind of music here.
Okay.
Something sort of somber.
Okay.
Hey everyone. Alex and I.
Hey guys.
Hey. We have a lot to apologize for as white people.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things we've done wrong, and I would like to start with the most difficult, the hardest one first.
Sure.
maybe the worst thing we've ever done is kill this emu.
Yeah.
And
also sorry for World War II.
No.
Sorry.
The emu. Focus.
Okay, sorry.
We are so sorry that we killed this emu. This was a bastion of light, joy, deliciousness. Sorry. And we would just like to.
You didn't know the emu.
I just want to take responsibility as a white person.
If you are taking responsibility for anything,
don't you want reparations?
This
It starts here.
In what world?
I thought World War II was a good pivot to be sorry for.
World War II made so much more sense.
I thought it was a good place to go, but
then the emu.
Jeffrey Dahmer, sorry about him too.
Of course, you're gonna go to World War II. You're a man. Okay? Let's get down to business here. The killing of this emu was an atrocity, an emu rights violation, speciesist, racist.
Yeah.
I mean, this would be better if you were drunk. The emu, you don't know. You don't know it. Like we could be horrified, but like this is the thing that you wanted to apologize for.
You could argue we have bigger things to apologize for, but the emu is also a big.
The emu is a big thing.
Now
we have a young white man in hiding.
But this is the most.
Okay, it could have been a promising swimmer.
This is
or basketball player.
Sure,
wow.
And now his life is ruined.
You in a weird way, you are whiting the apology because you've picked a lone animal to be the most sorry thing for out of all of human history.
I can't think of anything worse than white people have done than killing this emu.
Yeah, why apologize? Yeah.
Is that not?
Well, yeah, because I was going to apologize for the crack epidemic, but this emu is actually.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
No,
How do we even get to the crack
The
epidemic?
emu is like a little bit more higher.
I know how you get to it. You just get to it by mentioning. I'm saying that the emu is so low on the list of things that I would even put this up as a person who happened to be white.
Kill an
this
emu.
is a person who happened to be white. I think plenty of people out here killing emus. Wasn't there a whole war? Wasn't there a whole emu war?
There was.
Yeah, so it could be anybody. So making this like
those were white people too.
Yeah, but like they were overrun with the emus, and so they went and scrapped with them.
The thing is, if you can kill an innocent emu, an innocent emu. Okay, to be clear, the emu did escape. So
didn't escape.
It's sort of a stand your ground thing that got a little bit out of control. I think. It reversed stand your ground. Got off my ground, shot the emu.
Yeah.
I'm sorry about that. We're sorry.
Yeah. You as a lawyer, it's more of a reverse stand your ground thing if you think.
I think I'm making some good points.
Oh, that's so funny. That's so funny. That's such a like Diddy lawyer type of thing to do. It's just like, hey, actually, they were bumping into him real hard.
Yeah. They
That's-
fell into the oil.
Yeah. You know,
Into the baby oil.
I don't even know why. If anything, my client is the victim of a sex addiction.
Yeah.
Who's gonna put the sex addiction on trial?
Yeah.
Okay, you know what I mean? We over here, we got a physical body, but that's just a vessel. All right. Why don't we start putting the spirit on trial? The spirit of sex addiction. That's what this case is really about. You know, that's kind of what it is when you know the reverse stand your ground was epic. That was very
epic.
good. Yeah.
And yeah.
Is there more message?
Not really. There's just that was sort of the most of the news. There is more message, but it's just closing thoughts. That's essentially the story.
I mean,
okay.
Well, here's it. So to be clear, this person found their cousin's emu. Do I have that correct?
Didn't find it. Well, here's the emu is someone's, got loose. This person has a friend. This is all from a friend. We just have a reporter reporting it. So forget the reporter. This person, their cousin, decided to hunt down this emu.
I see. Okay.
Kill
Yes.
it just to taste emu.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, you
And
do have to stop
This
talking to that cousin.
told him, and he yes, and now he is an accessory to this.
Yeah.
I mean, is it a crime if it's already an illegally held animal?
Great white question.
It is.
It's a great white question. Unbelievable white question.
I mean, is it a crime if it's already a crime? All right, because then man.
You know how if you multiply a negative by a negative, it becomes positive?
Like, I know I'm not in the trial, but these feel like very like Diddy lawyer arguments.
Yeah.
It's like, how was he supposed to be kidnapping somebody when he was already murdering them? Okay, which one is it? Which one is it, state? You want to charge him with a murder? You want to charge him with a kidnapping?
Yeah,
All right?
I think definitely.
Nobody can do both.
Yeah, just say nonsense. This is an open and shut case, man. This is an open and shut case.
Definitely need to stop talking to the cousin.
Yeah.
The instinct to read a Facebook post and be like, I'm going to find that thing that my neighbor is missing. I'm going to kill it and eat it.
Yeah.
Is such a jump from reading that something's missing. You know what I mean?
It's
it takes
also-
multiple steps
Yes.
to get to killing and eating.
It's also insane because unless you killed it by accident, there's just no. This is the most premeditated thing.
Yes,
You
very
see what I'm saying?
premeditated.
Like
Right.
if you
There's a manhunt, sorry, an emu hunt
if
involved.
you were
Right,
looking
right.
Yeah.
for it, if you were looking for it, and in your
You're
search,
tracking.
yeah, if you're tracking it, but in your nighttime search, you accidentally hit it with your car, and then you're like, oh, I've never had emu before. Still insane.
Sure.
But to be out here looking with other people who don't want to eat
Right.
it, as somebody who
like
want to
you
eat
bought
it,
like an emu crossbow. You've got like an emu
This
like
is-
weapon.
yeah, this is what it
I was
feels
trying to
like.
come up with a pun for that, but I couldn't.
Yeah, I put you in a tough spot.
Emas bow.
You ever watch a thriller where they over here like helping the town search for somebody they killed?
Yeah.
That's what that feels
That's exactly
like.
what it is.
It's like
There are
if you
people
know
weeping.
you want to do something horrible.
Yeah.
That's what's so scary. It's like we are all looking for the emu. Only one of us want to eat it and
Yeah.
hadn't told anybody.
He said
This is kind of white excellence, though, because if in a world where the town rallies around finding an emu, there's no black people in that town.
right, probably.
So
Do you hear what I'm saying?
look, I hear what you're saying. I
They
guess
don't.
my
There are
thing.
no larger social issues that they have to tend to.
I guess my thing is,
Possible.
If community is brought together by the lost emu,
yeah.
it's a pretty white town.
It is pretty white, but I will say there's probably a black person there. There's probably
You don't
like
have to deal with
a
that person.
well, I'm just saying there's probably a black person helping. Just being like, yeah, my white friend lost his emu, I think. Just because like in the society that you're talking about, black people wouldn't even know white people who had a weird thing happening. But I know so many black people who know a white friend who does a thing that only they do.
Sure.
And so that's why I'm like, there had to be at least one black person in that town, just so the story could get out of like, hey, yeah, my dog lost his emu. And then somebody else would be like, a what? It's like a bird that's tall or something. I was helping them look for it, but then somebody ate it, I guess.
Right. Yeah, like we only know that people in like the Appalachians like fuck each other because the one black guy was like, this can't be. This can't be
yeah.
right. He was,
Yeah.
he
It
was
is-
like,
There needs to
wait,
be
he's
an
like,
unbiased
one
observer.
black guy was
It's
like, wait a sec.
It's like, guys, this is weird because y'all gotta pick one. Either be mean to me or bang each other. That's wild that y'all doing both. That's
or fuck your
yeah,
cousin.
because my thing is like, how you gonna be over
Also,
here?
can you imagine the person's like, "Fuck, I gotta pick."
Yeah.
You gotta pick. You gotta pick because it's like that's too much going on in
Those are
one
my two
individual.
favorite things.
Right.
That's
right.
too much in one individual to be racist
Right.
and be over here. No.
Yeah.
Because just to be a functioning society, you got to pick.
Yes. We
You
can't
know?
have this much shit going on.
No.
you know?
No.
That's
Because this
super
is my
funny.
thing. Look,
I can't believe people picked being racist. I feel like, sorry, new bit that I can't.
but no,
Ashley's admitting to something.
but this is my thing. Some of the most racist places I've been are places nobody wants to go anyway.
Mhm.
And that's why I'm like, you got to pick.
Well,
yeah, that's
Jabbing.
funny. Yeah, no, it's really
Like-
funny.
but racism is all they have, Josh.
No, it is. It is.
It's
You're-
literally
you're not
the
wrong.
only thing that they have to be like, well, my life is fucked up
Yeah.
because of these people that I
Not-
don't even know.
Sometimes not even because of these people, because those people aren't there, so that's a harder like thing to square. Sometimes they're literally like, my life is ruined, but at least I'm not this
Yes,
person,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
Oh, wow,
And I
yeah.
feel like
It's to maintain that little bit of power.
yeah, and it's like that's where I'm kind of like, look, either let go of the family
yeah.
or let go of the racism.
Yeah.
Okay?
Let go of your daughter, sir.
because
Right.
because my thing is like one of these things is going to improve your life.
Yeah.
I don't know you, and like honestly, I can't think about people who are racist all day. So I'll just say this: if you either let other people into your life,
Yeah.
or you like date outside the family,
Yeah.
either one of those things is going to improve your life.
Some guy in West Virginia just had to like break up with his sister and be like, listen, it's just being mean to some of the black guys is a little more fun.
It's just more important to me.
It's more important to me,
You know?
than what we have. And it's not you, it's
black
black, it's them.
It's like I'm telling you, man, you gotta pick.
It's not you, it's the illegals.
Yeah. it's
You
just-
know, you gotta pick.
I think let's do one more voice memo, but let's do it as like bonus. Alex and I were talking to incentivize the bonus.
Okay.
We were because I think we have enough. This is a perfect episode for it because we just did a lot on that,
Yeah.
and I feel like let's tease with the clip
Mm-hmm.
the one we're going to be doing in the bonus.
Okay.
Does that make sense? Let's hear it. Let's hear the one we're going to do.
Yes, yes.
So we have another
next
one.
story is just from a field reporter, standard field reporter, not an executive producer, by the name of
Are you shaming them?
a little bit.
Good for you.
Whoa,
Level up.
whoa,
Level up.
Whoa. Thank you so much for calling in for your report. What's the name?
Thank you a little bit, not a lot.
Maggie.
Thank you, Maggie.
Maggie.
We appreciate you.
Yes.
I guess.
Hey gang, this is Maggie in Massachusetts, and the thing that you have to understand about my local Whole Foods market is that it is sinking. Yes, it is sinking. It was
Pause.
built on
Yes, let's get that work in. All right. Yes.
Power to
Yes.
the people.
Wow. Sinking. Okay. All right. What irony. Every time a truckload is delivered, every time a pallet is driven, every time people walk in, they're sinking the Whole Foods.
Yeah.
What a living metaphor.
Yeah, visual metaphor.
Wow.
Wow. Okay. All right. Yeah.
sinking. Yes, it is sinking. It was built on a former landfill, and the construction company that built it did not do the necessary structural engineering juju to ensure that the building was not affected by the way the ground underneath it should.
Two phrases that should never be in a sentence together.
Yeah.
Structural engineering.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was
That's-
kind of a.
that's like- when
Structural
somebody-
engineering, je ne sais quoi.
When somebody
you just said what it was.
Yeah. It's like you did. Yeah, you were like, oh yeah, they didn't do everything they needed to do, but you took the extra step to be like, whatever little like funny business they got going on over there.
Yeah.
That's great.
We're going to keep riffing on this in the bonus episode. Let's take Alex's outro
Oh yeah.
and then we'll go into it.
Yeah.
What do you
Sounds
think?
good. Yeah. 100%.
Okay, cool. Well, thank you for being here, Alex.
Thank you guys for having me. This was really, really fun. This was an awesome pod.
Anything you want to plug?
No, just follow me at Alex Drags on Instagram.
He's
and,
really, really funny, you guys. He's really one of the only, there are very few straight men that can come into the space that I have at my weekly show on Sundays. You're looking at two of them right now. But
It's a great show. It's really fun.
Nothing. It's just
and
very
win
very
the
funny.
trust of the lesbians.
Mhm.
And Alex
Yeah.
is one of them.
They were great lesbians. So, thank you.
So we're going to continue this episode with one more call. You heard a preview of it. And you can get the rest of this at patreon.com/WNWY only if you're a good person and you donate.
Wow, that part is not something that I
If
said.
you don't donate,
That's-
you're
that's,
probably so...
So
that you're out there shooting emu.
We will need to bleep some of this again, just a touch of it, just so that it all stays. Thank you.
Censorship of a lesbian woman.
Thank you for watching and listening to What's News with You, the news show about everything that's not in the news.